What's up, y'all? Let me fix this. Oh, this is about to be. It's about to be a major content day. That's better. It's about to be a major content day. So I haven't been on in a minute, y'all, and I don't know how long it's been. I I feel like though I am finally about to get into a rhythm, a good rhythm when it comes to creating content, uh when it comes to going live. I'm over here trying to get my thoughts together. I got a couple of things going all at the same time. Oh, and then I don't have a name for it. Hey friend. Dang, you caught me just in time. What's up? I got a couple of things I want to do. So I want to record. I want to see how many videos I'm gonna record today. So I want to talk about Threads Beauty, and I know you know about them, friend. Threads Beauty has a put out. She put out the bat signal, and she is looking for an ambassador partner to come in and be the face of her brand. And y'all, when I tell you this is going to be, I'm so excited about this concept, and I'm going to tell y'all exactly why. And we're going to watch the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Your notifications are on, period. Ring the bell. How are you doing? So, I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about why that's so freaking exciting. And I also want to get into YouTube because they have made some updates to their requirements for monetization. Now, it doesn't go into effect until February 2027. However, yikes, y'all, yikes. I am concerned about what these requirements are and what it means. So, I want to get into that, talk about that. I'm doing great, friend. Let me put my chat on up here so I don't have to be looking down. I guess I could put my phone up here. Let me put it up over here. You caught it. Hey, Adrian. I'm talking about the topic that you sent me. So it's gonna be a good time. So we're gonna talk about YouTube's new requirements for monetization. I'm gonna give y'all an update on what I've been doing, what I've been up to. I'm gonna be going to Houston this Friday and Saturday for the Business of Influence. And it is about giving creators, small business owners, entrepreneurs the things that they need to build a brand that attracts the right people, that stands out, and also that functions like a business. So they're going to be tax professionals, finance pros, branding people. Hi, me. And I'm going to be hosting a podcast activation that's going to be powered by Riverside. And that makes me so freaking excited because, y'all, if I could tell y'all how much I love Riverside, like it's not even a joke. They don't, well, I guess it is technically being paid now to say that, but like I didn't have to get paid to talk about how much I liked it. So I'm gonna be, oh wait, I didn't mean to do that. So I wanna get into that a little bit and what I'm gonna be talking about there, what I'll be doing. And let's see what else is on the docket. What else I want to talk about? Ah, oh, I do want to talk about the creative thinking styles as well, y'all. And just like what's been coming up, I have a couple of things that I want to share with y'all that I have been doing just to help myself to like process some things that I didn't realize I had been feeling for a long time. And I want to talk about it partly because it is been important in my release to share these things. And I feel like at some point I kind of got away from being, I don't know, I won't say I got away from being vulnerable, but I do think that there was a period where I pulled back some. And so I am in a place where I want to talk about some things that I think a lot of us are experiencing. And I want to talk about how I'm navigating that. So that's vague right now because I don't want to start with that one. I want to start off with some of the lighter topics first. So I'll get into more of what I'm talking about with that one. But my goal today is to have at least 3 different videos that I'm gonna take and I'm gonna use after this live stream. But I like to do them live because then I get to talk to y'all. So there it goes. I could not remember where the chat was. Okay, so let's get into the first one. I'm glad you caught me live too, Adrian. I always love when you're here. I love when all of y'all are here. It be feeling like, it's our little powwow. I got to stop using that term because that's offensive, but it's like I genuinely do not mean to do that. I need another word for it, y'all. A huddle, a gathering. Help me think of some non offensive ways to talk about that. So let's get into. Let me pull my screen up. Okay. Tab. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna share the audio. Okay. So we're about to play the video. It's already playing on its own. So this is the video that I was talking about. Let me move this over here. This is the video that I was talking about. And this is the founder of Threads Beauty. I didn't know until this video that she was also the founder of the Lip Bar. And it's not like any shade or anything like that towards the Lip Bar. I just didn't know who the founder was. So when this video was shared to me by Adrian, I was like, oh, I would love to know who the Threads founder is because I am personally a lover of Threads Beauty. I have the lipstick, like they're multi-purpose. So I have like the colors. So like you can use it as a lipstick, you can use it as an eyeshadow. I have some of the like complexion sticks. So I got a dark shade because I wasn't sure what my shade was. So I used that one for my contour. And I think I have one more thing from them, but I just saw them one time at Target, and I believe this was around the time when they were like first launching in Target. And I was like, oh, this is cool, like a black owned brand. I felt like I just assumed it felt black owned, or maybe I heard it was black owned. I'm not sure how I knew about it, but that's how I found out about the brand, just like naturally going to the store. And so I tried it out and I was like, these price points are real cute. Okay. Real cute. The price points is around, $10, $20. Like you're not going to find a lot of products that go outside of that range. I want to say that you're not going to find any, but I'm not familiar with the full product line, so I can't say that for sure. But I am a fan of the brand, and what was really appealing to me about it was the fact that it felt like it was just fun. Like I feel like sometimes makeup get real serious. Y'all know what I mean? Like it seems like it's a lot to get into it. And there's some people who like makeup, but they're still like casual about it. Like they're not real deep into it. They just enjoy having the options when they want to get into it. Or maybe they do like makeup a lot, but they're not doing like full blown makeup artist dramatic looks, right? Like you want to be able to do a little something with what you got. And so I feel like there's like this very like in between space that has a lot of nuance and opportunity and just like differences in who those people are between the people who are like, I don't do makeup, my mascara is 10 years old, and then the people that are hardcore, I love makeup, this is my thing. Like I feel like there's a difference between the two. So I just was, I liked it just naturally because of that. And then it was also like good quality products. So it's like who in here has tried Threads Beauty before? Like, are y'all familiar with the products? If you are, what do you like about them, or what do you like from Threads Beauty? And what drew you to it? Maybe that's the first question I really care about. What drew you to the brand? Yeah, that's one I want you to answer. You can answer the other ones too, but you don't have to. But it's like, what drew you to the brand? And if you're not familiar with Threads Beauty, is it something that you would be willing to try? So I do want to give the well, actually she'll share it. So let's watch the video, and then I'm going to get into like what my initial thoughts were and my initial reaction to this. And then I also want to tell y'all, like, even beyond this opportunity, why this is so dope. Okay? So, let's play the video.
Function with Target. And while I think it is the cutest brand, like the branding for Thread is so much better than the branding for Lip Bar. I mean, just look at it. It is so cute. Like that's what experience gets you. But I underestimated that it really needed a face. It really needed a human connection. Like the way y'all love on me and y'all point to me and y'all are like, that's Melissa. That's the Lip Bar girl. That's the founder of the Lip Bar. We followed her story. Thread didn't have that. It didn't have that community. I decided that instead of closing it right now, that I just need a face. I just need someone to be able to step in, do the thing that frankly I can't do. I can't be the face of Thread and the Lip Bar. If you have been thinking about wanting a beauty brand, if you are ready to work, if you want to come and be my business partner in Thread Beauty, which already has nationwide distribution in Target, which already has a decent amount of followers in social media, which already has a very strong innovation pipeline, I am literally taking applications for not only a business partner, but a face of the brand. You have to be the same person, okay? You might be an influencer. You might be a person who has a ton of followers and you're like, I want to leverage or monetize my audience. This might be right for you. If you have a business background and you're like, oh yeah, I can support the marketing, this might be you. I am flexible and I am all about creative solutions. I'm working on some other things. Y'all will hear about it soon. Hello, can you guess? I can't do the Lip Bar and Thread and this other thing that I'm working on. I wanted to open it up to my community because the Lip Bar success has been completely communal. I still believe in it. I think that Thread is the cutest. I think it has so much opportunity. It just needs the right energy. So do you have the energy? If you do, email me. Like literally email me. The link in my bio.
Okay. So I think the end of it is just going to be her giving the information on how to sign up for it. And I will put the link to this video inside of the chat or inside of the description box after this. So if you are that person she's looking for, y'all make sure that you go and, throw your hat in the ring for this opportunity. So when Adrian sent this to me, the first thing that I thought was, this is so cool, right? Like I see you, friend, you said it's a great opportunity. This is so cool. And it is a great opportunity just to be able to come in and your leverage and your I want to say, I don't know what the word is for it, but I want to say equity. That feels like the word, but it may not be. But if I'm using it wrong, y'all know what I'm talking about. So like having like your audience, the platform that you built is the equity that you're coming into this deal with, and that type of partnership is so smart. Like it is so smart. And there were so many reasons why I felt like this was. For one, if the brand is catering to a Gen Z audience, then doing something like this that is outside of the box, that is unconventional, that is so raw and very candid is such a smart move and an aligned move for what Threads stands for and what it represents. And it is almost like giving me that same feeling of building in public and like hearing the founder story. And it also reminds me of what Olamide did, who is the founder of Topicals, who also has she acquired the brand Bread. I think that's what it's called. And she also was just very candid in asking, like, what do y'all think is the disconnect with this brand? And so I love this for that reason. And then another thing too that is not necessarily a part of the original list or the original feeling, but I love this concept of putting out there what it is that you want. I think that for different groups of people for different reasons, I know for Black women it is challenging for many of us to simply just ask for what we need and to put our requests out there, to put our asks out there, and to also believe that those requests are going to be met, like that people are going to respond to them well. And so I love how this is like, clearly I need this help, but it also isn't coming from a disempowered place. It's coming from a solution oriented place. So it feels like it's empowering, so that's another one that is not necessarily a part of branding, but I feel like it just speaks to the person who is doing it, speaks to the founder, and it honestly makes me like her more, or like her, because I didn't know who she was at first. So I love that. And I loved also that I feel like this is trend setting. That was like the exact word that I used, is trend setting. Because if there's anybody who has been paying attention to what I've been saying, what I feel like, I hear some rumblings and people talking about this, but I think that everybody's kind of dancing around this fact of the creator economy is really booming right now. Like, it's really booming. And I believe that people think the opposite because we hear about how people are de-influencing and how people don't trust influencers and they're tired of influencers, and there's a whole genre of content that's focused on tearing down influencers and talking about how much people hate them and don't want them around. Like, you could be mistaken and take that and believe that that is signifying the actual growth of the creator economy, but you would be sorely mistaken. I do not remember the numbers. I will look it up though, because I can really like back up what I'm saying. But I believe that it's in the billions. Like, the amount of money that is in this industry is in the billions. And the thing that makes it so important for me to talk about is that there are more people who would benefit from this type of structure, this type of business, than they realize. And when we think about how there are creator led businesses where they're really the new face of freelancing, like, and at its core it truly is influencing. But the thing that really makes it distinct is the power that we have with social media, the power that we have to create our own things, our own media, our own platforms, and put it out. There's no middleman that's stopping you from doing that. And so your advertising is significantly less. Like, the barrier to entry is significantly lower. And so there are a lot of people who are operating businesses that really do mimic this concept of a creator led business. And even seeing how many people want to get into content, who want to get into media, who want to get into creating their own TV shows, their own movies, their own series, and talk shows, like things that people are recognizing can push their mission forward and can serve multiple purposes, and one of those being to drive revenue for their business. You'll see how those things are starting to become more apparent. And the one thing that I also wanted to add to this when we talk about creator led is that there are so many different types of creators. We think about creators in a very one tone, one dimensional way. We believe that creators are the influencers, the people with these major platforms, the people who we see going into, you know, movies and all of these other opportunities that, yes, they are creators, they are influencers, but that's just one type. That's just one shape and form of that. If you are someone who is coming online and you're educating people, you are informing people, you are creating things that help to improve people's lives in some way, you're sharing your expertise, you are creating. And you're creating it through content. So you would qualify in this world and in this realm of being a creator led business, even if you do not identify as a content creator, but you are creating content, right? And so I think that there's going to be a lot that comes along with where this goes and what it looks like and the labels that people want to give themselves, but all of that to bring it back to the point that this is trend setting. This is the future of what it looks like to operate businesses, and the type of opportunities that creators are going to be able to take advantage of, where they really get to be in places where it goes beyond social media, it goes beyond the platform. And so thinking about this example with the beauty bar with Threads Beauty, and how this person, this creator gets to come in. You've built this platform, you have the audience, you're coming in with all of this capital. That's the word I was thinking of, y'all, capital. It wasn't equity, capital. You're coming in with all of this capital that you've been building over time. And up until this point, maybe you have had brand deals. Maybe you have had affiliate, like maybe you've done TikTok shop. Maybe you've sold your own products here and there. You know, maybe you have done things that have paid you as a creator, but now you get to take that, everything that you have acquired and worked hard and built, and now you get to be in positions where you get to be a partner in a company where the supply chain is taken care of. You're not responsible for the actual creation of the product, the distribution of it, but you get to be in that seat. And I think that there are going to be even more positions like this in companies, because they're starting to recognize how powerful our platforms are, how powerful our voices are, how influential we are, and how much people trust us because we've been building these platforms. And again, this can go beyond the person who started out as an influencer. You don't have to identify as one or be one. You could literally be the person that's creating content for your business, but you've built a platform because of it. You have an audience because of it. Now you have that leverage, you have that capital to be able to have these types of partnerships and collaborations and be in these positions. And then this is another stream of revenue for you. And I know this for a fact, y'all. I see it because there are even more positions that I'm seeing creators in that are in the corporate space, or in the space that is outside of a platform. Like, for instance, there is a creator, a beauty creator, skincare creator, who is also an esthetician. Her name is LA Beautyologist. And she recently was sharing how she has been an advisor on the board for different beauty brands and developing products. And that she's currently on an advisory board for a serum that's being created. And she has the actual expertise, so she is a licensed esthetician So she still has the expertise to back it up. But this is all just proving the point that I was just giving y'all. She has the actual experience. She knows what she's doing. She can talk about this from a place of being educated and understanding what she's talking about. But now when she really got popular, it was because of her YouTube channel. People started to see her content. She was the only person that was really serving darker skinned people, melanated people, and showing us how our skincare looks different, or how the things that we deal with our skin present differently than white people's will. And she built a really solid business, I mean, a solid platform by doing that. And so now all of that capital that she has garnered over years because she decided to create content to market her business, and now she's serving on an advisory board on multiple, from what it sounds like, multiple advisory boards in developing products that serve the people that she started her channel for in the first place. She started her practice for in the first place. More of this is coming, y'all. More of this is coming. And I think that it's so exciting to see that there are different avenues and that there are different methods to getting into these places and into these rooms and into these spaces that you imagined yourself being in. And I know I'm going to make this personal for a second, because I feel like, as someone who has often felt insecure about not finishing college, not having a degree, and feeling like I was all over the place, and I was really trying to find and figure out, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I like, what do I do in my life now? And feeling like I've spent a long time like navigating that and trying to figure that out, and feeling a lot of times like it wasn't connecting, it wasn't clicking. What am I doing this for? Why am I even trying this? What am I even posting for? Having a lot of moments where I felt like that, and then seeing that the exact things that I'm doing could lead to opportunities like this, ones that would typically require a degree, ones that would typically require me going a completely different route to get there. And I get to find that, I get to get access to that because I've built a platform for myself, and I'm building it doing exactly what I want to do. So seeing this and knowing that that is possible, that makes me so excited. And so this example here is just like the tip of the iceberg. It is just the beginning. I was literally just having a conversation with a friend of mine earlier today, and I was saying that this concept of the creator led business, of the, and I've been calling it creative entrepreneurs. And I think that creator led is feeling like it is really identifying what I've been trying to articulate. So I'm gonna stick to that for now until I feel like I find something different or find something that suits it even better. But this concept of the creator led business, and creators literally changing the way that businesses operate and function, and what they look like, I feel like it's just flipped everything upside down. It's like so many of the traditional rules when it comes to media, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to business. I feel like all of that is really getting shaken up and rattled because people have to be creative. We got to start doing things differently. We have to find different ways to make money, to operate our businesses, to navigate a world that is quickly adopting things like AI, and technology is changing so much, and people are using these platforms, social media, and they're spending so much of their time here. Like, so much is changing about how we live our lives, and the creator economy is a reflection of that, but I feel like it's also a response to it. It's the answer that we have right now for what does it look like to do business now? What is business going to look like in the future? And it makes me think about this term that I learned about recently called entrepreneurial marketing. And I'm trying to remember if I told y'all about this or not. I feel like I might have mentioned it lightly and didn't go into too much detail about it. But I want to save the full breakdown of that for another video. Okay, so y'all don't let me forget. I'm gonna do like a full nerd out video on what this is and how I found out about it and what that means for you, especially. But the gist of it is that the way that we learn business, the way that we learn marketing has traditionally and dominantly been from the perspective of a large corporation. So that means that the things that we are learning, the ways that we're supposed to establish a business, the things that we are being taught do not suit the types of businesses that we are setting up right now. The businesses that are solo, the businesses that have small teams, the businesses that are not built on I need to make money. And I know that sounds crazy, but just rock with me for a second, okay? They're not built on I need to make money. They're built on a mission. They're built on a conviction that I need to put this thing out into the world. This is what I need to do. I need to be serving the world and using my gifts in this way. There are people who that's why we got into business. That's where it really comes from. And of course, it has to make money because we need the money to fund what we're doing, but we're not in it to be a billionaire for the sake of being a billionaire. We're not in it to make a bunch of money for the sake of having money and having things. It really is because we know that that's what's required to continue to do what it is that we have the conviction to do. And so those types of people are oftentimes the creatives. They are oftentimes the types of founders that don't respond to the very mechanical and like scientific methods of doing business. Like we have to feel our way through things. We have to know this might be the best practice, but it doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense for what I'm doing. And that's the type of marketing that has existed for a while. I had never heard of it. I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm over here thinking like, man, I don't know what's wrong with my brain because the way that y'all talk about marketing is not working. And I can spit it out, like I can spout out all of the things you're supposed to do when it comes to it, but that stuff don't work. And realizing that it's because there's more than one way to do it. We're not tripping. So even knowing that, like I have been making some of like the best, and I mean the best connections when it comes to that, y'all. And so I can't wait to share more on it. But if y'all are excited about talking about entrepreneurial marketing, just put the dancing girl emoji in the chat, and that's how I'll know that you're excited because I know I'm excited to talk about it. I got hype just giving y'all a little tidbit. So yeah, that is what I've been sensing. That's what I've been seeing, and I'm excited to talk about it more and share this information and show people that we really have to trust our ideas. Like like for real. We got to really believe in what we're doing for real. And then we have to know what we need and know who to go to that's not going to try to change our visions. Just saying. I'm just saying. I see the dancing girl emoji in the chat. I know you're ready, Adrian. We talked about this. I feel like we could talk about this for hours. I can definitely see me doing something like that. I've been seeing a shift in my real life engagement and how they know me. Yeah, I I know you're going to do it, friend. I know you're going to do it. Like it it the way that you are able to understand businesses and then talk about them and promote them from the perspective that you do, it's something like that would be perfect for you. It would be the perfect way to bring those things together. And so I'm excited, and I think like what I want to how I want to summarize this whole little section here is by saying that it has felt like you haven't been able to find what where you belong and where you fit because the role hasn't been created yet. It hasn't been created yet. So instead of trying to peel off and scrape away and shrink down what we do into a category or into a box that best describes it to the best of its ability, what if what you are meant to be doing, the thing that would make what you do make sense in the exact way that you do it hasn't come to you because it doesn't exist yet. There are literally so many positions and roles and places in business that just haven't been established. And part of that is because people have been doing business the same way. They don't even realize it. They don't even know they need it. They don't realize it's a role that's necessary. So be encouraged by that and know that you don't have to start peeling stuff away to make it make sense. It doesn't make sense because the role hasn't been created yet. And for some of us, we're creating those roles. We're creating those titles so that whatever it is that we share and tell people who that we do and who we are is able to encompass all of the dimensions that come with it. So, y'all, it just makes me whoo. I feel like I could like really go on a tangent on that, but I do want to switch gears. So, I man, if I do an update on that, I don't know if I will or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it develops. But I'll definitely be keeping my, eyes open for how this progresses. And I think that it would be really dope if it became a series. Like, what if it was like a reality show or something? Where it was like finding our threads ambassador and we got to like vote on who we think is the most aligned. I want that to happen now, but I don't know. I don't know if if she got the bandwidth for all of that, but it need to be one. It need to be a show. I would watch it. I'd be tuned in. But yeah, I'll be keeping my eyes out for that. So let's get into the next topic. I think that I said it was going to be YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. So this one, I was going to pull up an article for it, but when I was looking up the articles, it was really making my computer crash. Like it was terrible. And let's see if it'll let me do it this time. Um, okay. YouTube, 8,000 watch hours. Let's see. If it starts moving in slow motion again though, it's going to be a done deal. Okay, it's not doing it right now. That part. Yeah, y'all both said it. Okay, I'm about to bring it back up again. Yeah, I do believe that. Antoinette said it's our part to heal in our community most times. Oh, I see it. I see it moving slow again. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Okay. Nah, not gonna do it. I can't handle the slow motion. Okay. Let's see if it brings me back. Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay. I'm gonna still talk about it, but I'm not putting that graphic up. I can't handle that. So YouTube is increasing its requirements for watch hours, and it's increasing it from 4,000 to 8,000. So it is literally doubling the requirements for people to be able to monetize their YouTube channels. And this this has been it's so interesting. I'm trying to think of like even where I want to even start with this. So first of all, I think that this is nonsense. And one of the things that it makes me think about is what do they have to gain from increasing the watch hours? Because when I was reading the articles, it was saying things like it was going to make it because of the increase in YouTube creators and people basically making more content on the platforms, primarily shorts. So, them introducing shorts increased the viewers on the platform. Let me know what part, friend. I don't know where it cut out for you. So, when I saw it and I was reading that, I was like, so because you see an increase in users, you want to make it harder for people to make money. And I think that the way that the article was posing it, it was so that I guess so that it would make it so that people were basically getting a good amount of ad revenue, right? So like if we move the goalpost, make it harder for people to monetize, then we'll still have a good amount to pay creators. They're also launching their light subscription, their YouTube Premium Light subscription. So it removes some ads, which was never clear to me when they made that change, but they're expanding it beyond, they're expanding it into other countries. And so that has been what they've oh, hold on. Let me answer that first. Then I'll get back to it. Okay. I said that, oh, I don't know what I was talking about. Okay, just text me after this, okay? So I won't get off track. Text me after it and I'll tell you. And I'll probably tell you some more stuff too. So, yeah, so they were saying that they're increasing the premium light subscription and they're putting it out into other countries. And so that's also supposed to be bringing in more ad revenue so that creators can continue to get paid. And so when I think about that though, it makes me uncomfortable because it makes me think about how these platforms really want to incentivize us to make more and more and more and more and more content. Like making so much content so that they can maintain the viewers on their platforms. And on the surface, like if if I'm making content that's bringing in people and I'm benefiting from it and you're benefiting from it, great. Where I see this being an issue are is for people like me where watch hours do not be hitting like that. Like they don't. And there was someone that I saw that made a post about it. They were saying basically they were given like this very like foundational list of here's what you're going to do to increase your watch hours so that you can get monetized before it increases, because if you are in the program before it goes into effect in February, the 8,000 watch hours doesn't apply to you. So you do have time to get that 4,000. The problem that I had with the post though is that it was so generic to me. Okay, to me, it was generic because it was saying things like make sure that your content is the content you're posting is over 20 minutes, and don't waste your time with shorts, just do longer videos, longer content, and increase how often you post on YouTube. And so automatically it's already giving you way more than way more work and how much more content you should be creating. And so again, it's not an issue necessarily to increase your output and to put out more content, because there are times realistically where you do have to you got to kick it up a notch. You do have to post more. But to do that and what you're currently doing is not already working, that's where I have a problem. Yeah. Wait, pitch what? Tell me what you're talking about. That's where I have a problem because when I did the live stream challenge, if y'all remember, I was doing the live stream challenge and my goal was to get to 1,000 subscribers, right? And at that time, I was like, I just need to hit 1,000 subscribers. I honestly do not care about none of this other stuff y'all talking about. Like watch hours, I like look, I don't know. I don't know. Like I just need to stop being at 505 subscribers. Like I feel like I was just like stuck there for so long. So that was my goal. I was trying to increase my subscribers. Now, the issue that I had with it is that in that challenge I was going live every day for 30 days, every single day. And each of those live streams that I was doing were like easily clearing an hour. Like I was hitting an hour every single time. So I'm doing hour long live streams every day for 30 days. Not only did I not get to 1,000 subscribers, my watch time also was not anywhere close to hitting that not even 1,000. And when that was going on, the the issue that I had was I was finally starting to see that frequency does not guarantee results. And it doesn't mean that you're going to get to a goal faster. So, in my mind, I'm thinking you're telling people to just make more content, just make longer content. There are very specific reasons why people are not watching videos past the 30-second mark, or why they're not completing videos, or why when they click on your video they're immediately scrolling away, right? Like it could be something as simple as the title that you have and the thumbnail don't make sense together. One's communicating something, the other's communicating something else. It can be that whatever the title is of your video, when the person clicks on the video, it doesn't match the expectations that they had when they clicked on the video. It could be that you are literally, your titles are drawing in the wrong audience. It could be that you are taking too long to get to the point, or when the video first starts it's not interesting, right? Like there's literally so many things that could be happening. So to tell people to just post more, but then not giving them things like you should be reviewing your content. Here are some of the reasons why your videos may not be performing. Here is why people are you're making videos on topics that people really aren't interested in. And it's not because the topic itself is not interesting, but because you're not positioning it in a way that interests people. None of that's there. So I always get so irritated and frustrated with stuff like that because then in the comment section, somebody was like, just go live. Like, just go live. That's the answer. Okay. I didn't even comment on the post because I was just like, whew, listen, I'm not the watch hour queen anyway, so I'm gonna let y'all have it. But what I can definitely tell you is that telling somebody to post more content is not actually helping them the way that you think that it is. Oh, the show? Okay, I will. I will pitch it, friend. Sorry, that just clicked for me. I will pitch it. Thank you for that. I will. I wonder, maybe I could take a, huh? I gotta think about that now. Yeah, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. So let's see. Adrian said that person only catered to fear and nothing, no real value there, just crumbs. Yeah, yes. And there's so much of that. There's so much of that. And I think that one of the things that I realized about YouTube and why it was so scary for me and why it's possibly daunting for other people is because it really forces you to analyze your content. It forces you to be intentional about how you're creating. It forces you to think about the structure of your videos beyond the hook 'em and here's the problem and then here's the solution and then here's a call to action. Like that is some of those components are there, but there is so much more that goes into structuring a longer piece of content. And I think that people can get discouraged when it's not performing because it feels like I don't even know where to start. I can't even figure out what it is. And to be honest with you, you're not going to be able to figure out exactly what's going on the first few months that you're doing this. And if you're not creating content at a consistent pace, you're really not going to be able to, because if you're creating too much space in between when you create the one video to when you post your next one, you're not giving yourself enough information to even analyze it. So it's not about post more, post less. Like you need to be posting enough to give you data. You need to be posting enough to give you enough information to learn how to tweak it, how to fix it, and doing it in stages is what I did. So for me, watch hours was not my top priority. I wanted to get more people to click on my videos. I wanted to create topics that people were looking for. I wanted to figure out what kind of content I wanted to create in the first place and not create content based off of what the algorithm rewards. So I had different priorities. And so now, watch time is on, it is coming up. Like that is a focus that's coming up for me like right now. Like that's where I'm at, but I had to do it in stages because I had to figure out, okay, like where do I start, and then and kind of like give myself like benchmarks for how to do that. And so I feel like I've really done a good job of testing out my concepts and understanding what type of topics I want to create about. I and knowing how to position it so that it also interests the person that's watching it, and getting people to click on my stuff. So I feel like I'm in a good place with that. So now I want to keep, once I got them, I want to keep them there for longer. And then I also want to see, are the right people coming to the channel? So now I get to really like pinpoint those different areas, and those are the kinds of things that help people improve their performance on YouTube, not just posting more. She said jump in them DMs. She doesn't know what she needs just yet, and it might be a bit of Jada for a different role. Period. I was scared of this mug. It was a bit discouraging to have no views, but I did my first video without a teleprompter yesterday. Congratulations! It's getting easier and I'm getting more comfortable. My top priority is my own comfortability and my own voice and trusting my words. Yes. Yes, it is. And it is a process. And so to have something as daunting as 8,000 watch hours and you're over here trying to race the clock, it's absolutely capitalizing on fear. When the solution rather didn't change just because they have moved the goalpost, it's still the same thing. It's still the same. It's still the same concept. It's still the same solution to this problem. And so if I could add anything to the conversation, because like I said, I can't tell you how to get 4,000 watch hours. I can't tell you that. And part of that's because I don't, if I get monetized in this platform, that's great. But my goal with using the watch hours is so that I can improve how long people stay on my videos. That's it. Now, if I get monetized from that, that's great because now I'm basically getting paid to market, but that's not my primary goal. That's not my focus. And a lot of people get paid from YouTube and do not meet those requirements. So you have options. Like you have options. I just really don't like how it's like something new comes up, some new obstacle comes up, and now it's like everything that I was doing goes out the window. Let me focus on watch hours. Like, no, it's like, is that what you was talking about before? Is that where you was at? Don't just switch up the program because a platform decided to change what they doing. Do you really want to get monetized on YouTube? Is that even a priority for you? Like there's just so many things to think about. So that would be my biggest contribution. Is that actually a priority for you? Think about what your priorities are. And then from there, think about what kind of content you actually enjoy creating. And what is it that you're doing with that content that's going to get you paid? How do you plan to get paid from it? And your options for that absolutely need to include something that is not just getting paid from the platform. Like ad revenue cannot just be it. I mean, or it can if you want it to be. I don't think that's a wise choice though. I think that you really should have something else. There really should be some kind of business backing up what you're doing. So think about those things. And if you don't know what that looks like, or you don't know what kind of content you really want to create, I would encourage you to do two things. The first thing is to check out the video. I'm going to actually tag it here. It is breaking down my content system that I created for myself based on the way that I think. So, my creative thinking style, the way that ideas come to me, the formats of content that I create well naturally and that I enjoy creating. I was able to develop a content system for myself, which is part of the reason why my latest videos have been performing so well on YouTube. I had my video that I did with Kiki Palmer, my first long form video in so long that broke past 1,000 views. And within the first couple of weeks, I think right now it's over 2,000. It's sitting at 2,000. And I don't remember how many subscribers I got from it. I haven't looked at the metrics on it in a while. But that one's 2,000. My last video that I posted is at 500 and something. That was on Kev on Stage. So I'm seeing that my views have been literally like multiplying since doing this. And this is like coming off of my videos barely getting 20, barely getting 20 views. So that's the first thing that I would suggest. The second thing that I would suggest is to take the creative thinking style quiz, because that's going to tell you how you create. It's going to tell you how your ideas flow to you. It's going to tell you what type of content makes the most sense for you to be creating. It's going to tell you how to collaborate with other people, other creatives, where your strengths are, what the things are that you need from the other types of creative thinkers. And it's going to also show you how to monetize. So, what types of products and services make the most sense for you? What kind of things do you want to do? Because how many of us have been stuck creating products and offering services that we don't truly enjoy, or we enjoy parts of it, but there's other parts that we're like, nah, this ain't it. Like, I like some parts of this, and then other parts is like trash. I've definitely been there. I literally made it, and I feel like I made my own prison. That's a little dramatic, but like low key, that's how I was feeling. So knowing what types of offers you should be putting together and crafting. The quiz is going to give you all of those solutions, all of those answers. And so I've expanded the quiz. So if you have taken it before, you may want to take it again, because there is a tool that I developed that gives you all of those answers. So it covers all of that. And the one thing that I forgot to mention is that it also tells you why you procrastinate. I almost forgot about that. That's one of the most important ones, because it can be real exciting, but if you're not executing your ideas, then what's the point? So it tells you all of that. The tool gives you all of those answers. It gives you so much to think about. So many questions that you might have can be answered just from taking this quiz. And the best part about it is that it's free. It's free. So I'll be tagging that one down in the description box. So make sure you go watch the video so you can see how it works and how it worked for me. And then take the quiz so that you can develop your own content system. All right, let's see what Adrian said. From the entrepreneurial marketing perspective, if you stick to the mission through your content, you can make more money than YouTube can pay you. Money from clients, your content converted is real. Yes. Yes, thank you for adding that. Like, you could literally be getting more from just doing what you enjoy to do. And what I've seen, this will be my last part on this topic, but what I've seen is so many more people who pursued that thing that drives them, that thing that makes them that makes them feel convicted to do it and to show up. Those people who follow that, coupled with some best practices, again, that make the most sense for them, those are the people that end up meeting those requirements anyway. You end up meeting those standards anyway. Anytime that I've gotten a huge jump in subscribers or in followers, it was from doing something I just genuinely, truly enjoyed doing. So do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. But that would be my suggestion. So, yes, 8,000 watch hours. Wow. If you can get that 4,000 before then, that's incredible. But do not make that your sole mission. It just doesn't even make sense to make that your focus, your primary focus, when it comes to why you're creating content, how you're creating the content, and what you want it to do. All right. Okay, y'all, that's another one down. Yay. Okay, so what else did I say I wanted to talk about? Are y'all enjoying this? I'm glad that y'all are here. I'm glad that I'm talking to people, because I definitely was not sure if anybody was gonna show up for a while, because I didn't say, I ain't say nothing. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do it. I just felt like I needed to just sit down and make a bunch of content. So before I go to the next topic, though, I do want to give y'all some things just to be aware of. So this I told y'all this weekend I will be in Houston for the Business of Influence. It's going to be August 15th. We are going to be at the Ion. So if you are in Houston and you are a creator, you are a small business owner, an entrepreneur, and you want to know how to increase your brand, improve your brand, the visibility, attracting the right people, you want to be able to do it in a way where you are making money but you're also protecting yourself, you know how to take care of your taxes, you know how to set up your business so that it actually functions like a business. You want to just be able to talk to people who have been in the game for a while, who can give you some answers, who can help you to navigate what you're doing. And my favorite part is that the attendees get to record a mini podcast episode with me. It's going to be powered by Riverside. So when you join, you get that's part of your registration. So when you get that, you're going to be able to record an episode with me. And it's going to be probably one of your favorite times on camera, y'all. Like that's my goal is that when people get done, they're like, oh my God, I had so much fun with you. I've never had this much fun making content before. That's who I want to be for you. So if you're in Houston and that's something that is an investment for you, then make sure you come and check us out. You can still join. Tickets are still available. And if you use the code JADA10 at checkout, it'll take some money off of your ticket too. All right, y'all. Okay, so that was the first housekeeping. What was the other thing I said I was going to tell y'all about that is escaping me at the moment? It'll come back to me later. But let's get into this, y'all. I told y'all that I have been doing some processing. And I've been thinking about the how do I want to start this? So, I realized that I have been grieving for over 10 years. That's where I'll start. I've been grieving for over 10 years. And I was grieving the fact that I didn't graduate from college. And it's something that I always talk about being one of the biggest a very impactful moment in my life. And at the time that it happened, I felt so confused and angry, disappointed in myself. And I felt like that was where I started to feel like I started to manage my dreams and manage my expectations. And it's really crazy to be in a position where it's like I don't know what to do with my life. I that's if there's anything that I can relate to people feeling is like I don't know what I'm about to do in my life. I have no idea like what's next. I don't know what's coming. I don't know who I am. I don't I, and honestly, even in school, I was still feeling these feelings, but at least I was going to have a degree, right? Like at least I was going to have a degree. I was coming in with something. I'm leaving here with something. That's how I felt. And so when I found out I wasn't going to be able to go finish my last year, it was due to financial reasons. And I I didn't I might get into that more in its own space in its own episode because I do think that some of the details of how I felt and what I was thinking play a role in this conversation and what I noticed. But for now, I'll spare you going too deep into that part. But the reason why it's coming up for me now is because it feels like it's like really been like triggered lately. And so I was noticing that I was starting to feel like, man, I'm not feeling I'm feeling inadequate. And I'm feeling like there's so much that I want to do that I used to think about doing that I'm really not giving myself the space or the permission to even dream about. And it was like to the point where I was thinking one day, like I'm not dreaming big enough. Have y'all ever had a moment like that where it's like I'm not dreaming big enough. I'm not thinking big enough about what it is that I want to do and what that could look like and what it could become. I was realizing that I was really approaching things from the perspective of what I could manage, what I could see for myself, what made the most sense, what was the most logical. And so it was really interesting to have these feelings internally, but then to also have people who think so highly of me, who tell me like you're destined for great things and I see like you're going to go so far, and feeling like I was functioning like somebody who believed in these grand things and how far I could go. But if you ask me like what I really felt about that and if I really believed it, no, no, it was not there. When I quit my job, I thought I had a vision, but once I got in it, I noticed I'm still thinking small. Yeah, because you start like it's like you have this freedom to do whatever, but then I also had these feelings of, don't go too far, because you remember what happened last time, or it has limits, or don't get too excited, don't get your hopes up. And although I wasn't aware of those things operating, they were beliefs that had developed. And so even if I wasn't consciously putting myself down or shrinking things, my beliefs like wouldn't allow me to. Like I wouldn't. And even when I did like those exercises and the visualizing and trying to think like in the future and what I want, I was like, I don't know. Like it's not really coming to me. So I noticed that, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine who is he's just like I enjoy talking to him because he's just a creative person, and I love having conversations with people who are like that because their minds are so expansive. It was like we're just like casually talking about things that are in my mind these huge things, and he's just talking about them like, yeah, so I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna build this and I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go there. And when he was talking about it, it all made sense. Like everything connected. It didn't seem impossible. And it was what really like messed me up about it is that it just was so natural. It was like this is what my passion, this is what I'm convicted about, this is what I want to do. And so in whatever form that looks like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, I am not thinking big enough. I'm not dreaming big enough. And so that that moment, I think if it wasn't that night, it was definitely the next day. I was just like writing. Like I was like, "Oh no, I got to get this all out. Like let's just go. Let's just do this." And so there was a couple of things that have been going on that kicked this off. Another thing that I want to make note of that has really triggered this processing of emotions that I've been going through is this book called The Garden Within. And I keep forgetting who the book is by. Actually, let me see if I can look it up and bring it up for y'all. So the book is called The Garden Within. It's by Dr. Anita. If you are a viewer of the Woman Evolve podcast, then you know who I'm talking about. She that's how many of us got introduced to her and her work. So it's, yes, The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips. Let me bring up the cover for y'all so you can see. Um, I might have to run this one back and like do it in a group. So if that's something that y'all would be interested in, let me know, because I would like to go back through it again. But the premise of the book is it shows you how to really like address your emotions, and it shows you how they're impacting your actions, your thoughts, the things that literally like your thoughts, your actions, what you believe, and where that comes from and how to address it. So I can't make it bigger than this, but let me show y'all this real fast. Have you read the book? Has anyone read the book? Or you just maybe just heard of it? What I like about it is that it is very practical. So not only does it talk about the emotions and what they look like and how to identify them, but it also shows you how to process your emotions. Oh, let me unpin myself. It shows you how to process your emotions. So, The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips. I was listening to this on audio, and I was listening to it one day, and I was just like walking through my neighborhood, and I was in tears, y'all. Tears. I feel like I have cried more these last few weeks than I have for like most of this year. And that says a lot because I'm always crying. But it's like even more tears. I'm like, these must be some backlog tears or something. And so this really like kicked things off, because when I was listening to this book, the within like the first few chapters, college was the thing that came up for me. And I don't remember exactly what the feeling was that I was noticing, but I think it was more so connected to a belief. But when I addressed that belief, it was like everything just started to come up. Like it was just like uprooting everything. And it's been like that ever since. So, oh, because it's been a couple of things, y'all. It's been a couple of things that's been kicking this off. The last thing that I want to share that has been let me stop that. The last thing I want to share that's been helping me, and then I'll continue my story, is the Reclaim Your Value workbook by Adrian. She in the chat. And that workbook, y'all, I don't even know how to begin to describe how sneaky this workbook was. So the purpose of it is for you to get back in touch with yourself and what it is that you truly want, what it is that you care about, what's valuable to you, and to pursue that. I said pursue her, that's the name of her company. But the workbook was where I started to realize that I wanted freedom. Like I kept identifying with words that made me feel liberated and free, and just like I want to say like expansive. And so at the time I was going through it, and I was really going through it because I was giving my feedback. And it seems like ever since then I have been like noticing all of these things that are desires that I have that I haven't voiced, and things that I want that I have continuously pushed to the back and pushed down and said not right now. And the workbook brought all of that back up. And I remember when I was first going through it, I was like, that's been there the whole time. I feel like that's been like the ongoing theme. It's like that's been there the whole time. And so, yes, Adrian, it is sneaky, and I feel like it should come with a disclaimer because I was not prepared for it to do what it is doing to my life. I was like, wow, wow, like this has really been like I've really just kept this. I don't even know how to describe where it was. Like it just was. I just like almost like out of sight, out of mind, but it was still there. So, up, Adrian, she's asking where you can grab the workbook. She wants the workbook. So yeah, y'all. Between these things, those things, it's just been wop 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 wop. But like in a good way, in a good way. But it feels like it's just I just did not know. I did not know what I was in for. So with all of these things happening, it's been it's been really like encouraging me to use my voice. It's been encouraging me to show myself compassion for how I feel, to not judge the fact that I'm grieving, even though it's been 10 years, because grief lasts a while. I mean, for many people, I guess for most people, a lifetime. And I don't know if this instance is going to be one of those things that I'm always grieving. I'm not sure because it honestly feels like with what I've been doing is giving me what I need to close that chapter. And I'm going to get into what I've been doing. But just knowing that I haven't really addressed it, or there are new things connected to it that I just didn't realize. I didn't have the information that I do now. So it's okay that I'm there. I understand why I held on to this for as long as I did. I understand why I wouldn't address it, or I would say not right now, or I'll get to this later. Like I understand why. And I don't have to feel anything about myself or judge myself for any of that because I get to do it now. I get to address it now. And I feel like where I am now is a beautiful place to be because it feels like I really do have the tools now to navigate it and to process it and to address it. And so maybe it is the perfect time, you know? And even if it could have been done sooner, it didn't. This what we got. This what we got. So I've been really amazed by like what's been coming up and what that's been revealing and bringing up for me. And so what I've done, and I didn't share this in my email, so y'all are hearing this first. But what I've done, the first thing that I did was I wrote a letter to myself. And in that letter, I talked about how it felt being in school and being honest about the good and the bad because it wasn't all great, and talking about how where I thought that I was going to be and where I thought it was going to take me. And I took that letter and I burned it symbolically. And in it, I cried again as it was burning because I was like, man, that's really going, huh? And that felt good, but it didn't feel like enough. I said I need something more. So I wrote the email about it. So I shared it with my email list. If you're not on the list, you can join the list by taking the creative thinking style quiz. And I also actually no, I feel like I gotta no, I can. Sorry. So if you do want to join the list, I will tag the that post, that newsletter that I sent out. I'll put the link to it down below. And if you enjoy that, then you will enjoy the list and all of the other updates that I share, because I tell the whole story over a series of emails. So anyway, I wrote the emails and someone responded to the email and they said, you know what would be really cool if you did a graduation photo shoot, like, and give yourself the photo shoot that you didn't get to have. And I was like, I love that idea. That is such a beautiful idea. And I think I'm going to do that. So I love that. But then I was like, but I think that there needs to be something in between there. I was like, I need something else. It feels like there is a step before it. And the first thing that came to my mind was a transcript, right? So like, you're graduating, you got a transcript, your official transcript of all the classes that you've taken. And so I thought that it would be really cool, instead of doing a transcript based off of the classes I took in college, to do a transcript, using my quotation fingers, a transcript of the experiences that I acquired after college. So I went into Claude and I just like just yapped about all the things that I've done since college. And so I went through it to the best of my memory, cuz we're going over like what 10 years, 10 plus years of stuff. So I gave it everything that I did, and in the prompt I told it to take all of my experiences and everything that I've done and translate it into classes. And in each of those classes, I want you to assign one credit to each of them. So there is no like different, it's not weighted any differently. It's literally just to account for all of the things that I've done. And so in the transcript, oh, I might be able to show y'all. Would you like to see? In the transcript, I I was able to literally look at all of the things that I have done up until this point. And oh, it might move slow if I do that. It might move slow if I do that. Let's see. Let's try it. Hopefully it doesn't. But I was able to see all of the work that I've done and what it looks like to see like what it turned into. I can say that better, but let me try to bring this up first, and then I'll be able to speak more coherently. So, all right, it looks like it's coming up. I'm not moving in slow motion. Okay, yeah, we're good. Well, almost. Okay, I think we're getting there. Oh, it's yeah, it's moving slow. It's coming though, y'all. Oh wait, nope. I was in the wrong chat. Okay. Y'all hear these fighter jets going over our house? Maybe you can't hear it. All right, I brought it up. So let's share. almost share. Hmm. All right. I think this will work. All right. It's coming up, y'all. All right. So here it is. Okay. So this is it. I won't go through the whole thing. I'll just scroll through it. So this is a transcript of my experience. So it shows my foundation in garment construction and design, and my retail merchandising experience, visual merchandising experience, independent product and sales, which I think is one of my favorite ones. But I always forget that I have more experience in that than I use sometimes, or maybe I do use and I just don't realize it. Client services. So it took all of the things that I said that I've done, and it literally turned them into classes. So it breaks down the tasks like inside of it. So that's how the credits are determined. So you see here is 5 credits. It's five points under this curriculum iteration and material life cycle. And it goes in chronological order. So these are all of the things that I have done, that I have experience in, and is listed out. And I was so excited by this. And I was excited by it, but I also felt like it was like redemption. And it made it feel like it gave me concrete evidence that everything that I have been doing, I was doing something. Like it doesn't feel like I just spent 10 years trying to figure it out, even though I did. But it was still intentional, and I got to choose what I wanted to study. I got to choose what I wanted to learn. Some things I simply had to learn because that's what was necessary or needed at the time. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it contributed to this journey. It contributed to where I am now. And I I was scrolling through it. I even printed it out because I just wanted to be able to have it like in my hands and to just see like this is the work that I've been doing. This is what it looks like, and everything that's on here is what I did. Everything, every step. And one of the things that was an unexpected bonus from doing this was that it showed me what the work that I've done looks like. Like what field have I been gravitating towards and getting experience in that I maybe didn't even realize. And one of the biggest things that it highlighted with that in mind was that if I wanted to go the traditional route and go to college, it would have been so expensive to do all of this and try to figure it out. Now, granted, some people might say that, well, you spend the money, but you save the time. Maybe, but I would have had to go to school, learn it in theory. Then I would have had to get the experience after school to balance out what I've learned and to put it into play. And so being able to see that, and then also it going back to what I was feeling even when I was in college, that whatever it was that I was going to do with my life, I was going to have to make it up. And I knew that even in college. Everything that I enjoyed, everything that I wanted to do felt like it didn't fit in my major. Everything that I wanted to do didn't feel like it fit in, even in the school that I went to. I felt like what I wanted to do spanned across so many different fields: communication, merchandising, design, marketing. Like there was so many different concentrations and areas that make up what it is that I ultimately knew I wanted to be able to do. And that was something that I didn't have the ability to put together for myself in school. I didn't know, and I was starting to feel boxed in by fashion, even then, by fashion design. And so I was feeling it, but that was so scary at that time, so scary at that age. And it was also a matter of like, school is expensive. I need to just get this degree and get on up out of here. Like that was really the goal. After my sophomore year, I was like, I just need to get this degree and go. So it wasn't even like I wasn't even really passionate about what it was that I was doing anyway. So all of that to say that I got what I needed from my transcript, and I feel like it's one of the coolest things I have created in a long time. And well, that's not true. It's a cool thing among other cool things, but it's cool because I feel like this is something that everybody should do. I feel like you should have a personal transcript that tells you what you've done, what you learned, and especially if what you did was outside of a school setting, outside of a traditional learning environment. You need to be able to see on paper, laid out in front of you, this is who you are. This is what you're capable of. This is what you've accomplished. It's almost like a resume, but it's even better because it's so thorough. It's so in depth. And so it shows you also what you should be earning, what you should be getting in, what should be coming in, what you get to tell people is the price. So I was so encouraged by this. I was so proud of myself for going through with it and putting it together. And I love it, y'all. I love it. So I couldn't wait to share that. There are some other reasons too, some other things that came out of this whole experience, this exercise, and things that I've learned. But I I I'll I talk about that in the emails. So what I'll say is that if you want to know how this was impacting me when it came to business and what that looked like when it came to creating the types of offers and doing the type of work that I really wanted to do, and how it fits in this grand scheme, this bigger picture of dreaming bigger and going beyond and not thinking so small about what I want to do. This, if you want to know how all of that comes together, then that's going to be inside of the newsletter. So make sure you go check out that first one and then read the other ones, because I think that there is a lot that can be gained from it. And it also is a conversation that I believe needs to be talked about more, especially when it comes to grief and grieving things in business that are not necessarily tied to the loss of a person. Like just grieving those losses in other ways. I think that we don't get to talk about those as much, or we don't because, we just take it on the chin and keep it pushing. But I just feel like it impacts us more than we actually realize. And it shows up in how we show up. So if that interests you, go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and check it out. And I'll see you in the newsletter. Um, that's it, y'all. I think I covered all the topics I want to talk about today. So, yeah, I think I did it. But before I go, let me tell y'all, okay? So I'm about to be switching some things up coming in the fall. So I'm going to have my next guest on live next Thursday. I think that's the 20th, August 20th. And it's going to be Adrian. We're going to be having a conversation about what did we say we was going to talk about? Oh, we're going to talk about something similar to what I just talked about actually when it came to like what do I do now? What happens when you get to a place in your life, in your career, in your business where you're just like what do I actually want to do? And what does that look like? And what does that require of me? So, there's going to be a topic, a person in particular that we are going to use as the subject of that conversation. So, I am so excited to have that conversation with her. So, make sure y'all are tuned in for that. If your notifications are on, then you'll get notified anyway. And then that Friday, so the 21st, I'm going to be doing a creative thinking style assessment live with a friend of mine. So if you are curious about how this works and what you can learn about yourself from it, then make sure you check that out on Friday. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I got times for y'all now. That's thanks to Riverside, though. No, real talk. It's thanks to Riverside because I can schedule stuff on here and I can go live without it giving me problems. Unlike when I was going live on YouTube. So yeah, no shade. I still like it over here, but I'm just streaming through Riverside. And I can drop that link down there too. So if you want to get on the winning team and use Riverside as your hub for creating content, especially if you're getting into long form YouTube podcasts, I can't suggest nothing else, y'all. I can't, and I don't understand why anybody's using anything else. I don't know. I don't know, but Riverside has definitely been helping me. So I will be able to give y'all more of a heads up for things. I'm gonna still do my pop ups though. I gotta have some little flexibility. But yeah, so next Thursday and next Friday, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. And then I'll get to give y'all some updates on how the event went as well. So I'm excited to share that recap. So that's what you got to look forward to. Add it to your calendar. Oh, you trying to wait? Okay, Adrian said the workbook is coming next week. Oh, it's coming next week. Not me reading that and then realizing what you said in real time. The workbook is coming next week. What? Brr, 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 brr. That's so exciting. Oh, yay. Oh, so many people's lives are going to change and I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm just glad to be in the room where it happens. I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to our conversation and I will tell y'all a little bit more about like why I'm bringing Adrian on and what that means for my content moving forward. But I got to say something for later. So, I'll tell y'all about that next Thursday, okay? But until then, y'all be good, stay safe. If you see this content again on your feed, just know this was my content day. So feel free to go back through it, listen to it again. It'll be in sections. It won't be as long as today. I recorded about 3 episodes. So I'll be posting those. But yeah, engage with them, share them with somebody. If you enjoyed it, you can talk about what's in it because you've seen it already. All of that is greatly, greatly appreciated. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.